bomb got dropped upon us all, and the list of all unknowns is tall. But if there's anything we know, our stubbornness has shown, we'll climb up after any fall. We know who we are, but we still don't know who named us. Yeah, we know where we are, but we don't know where we came from. Leftover ashes in the sky, and the nations, all they do is fight. Yeah, the crown broke all our trust, so I guess it's up to us to save whatever's left of life. We know who we are, but we still don't know who named us. Yeah, we know where we are, but we don't know where we came from. But we still don't know who named us. Yeah, we know where we are, but we don't know where we came from. Oh, we know who we are, but we still don't know who named us. Yeah, we know where we are, but we don't know where we came from.
Hello everyone, this is the Nameless one, and tonight we are going to be continuing the Lost Memories campaign with Argo, Ellis, Paige, Cameo, Moon, Petrol, and Hax.
Wait. Cameo's not here.
Yes, Cameo is here.
Yeah.
Yes, she is.
Where?
You're an idiot.
My name.
Oh my god!
You're an idiot. You are an idiot.
Perception, -1.
Evidently.
I would say -10.
Anyway, so continuing.
So, totally lost my train of thought. Thank you. Before we get started, I am going to remind everybody that if you are enjoying what we do, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, subscribe, ring the notification bell, and if you would like to support the channel, don't forget that there is a Patreon that for the $5 tier, you are able to sit down with the group at the end of every session and talk with them on what happened. And then the $10 tiers get shout-outs at the end of every video and stream. Now, let's go ahead and we'll jump straight into the, what do you call it? Recap. I swear I can English. Moon!
Well, Doc found everyone blowing up a city. Don't know how they managed to do that. Obviously their fault, though. Since they're the only ones who were left. Found a tribe of tinkers who Clink belonged to. spent a little bit of time there situating things, and learned that Clink left home because he was a bit of a prodigy and just couldn't handle the stress. That's about it. Not a whole lot happened. Oh yeah, we got to a river, found 2 ways to go, and Doc was convinced that the bad way was the good way. So he was convinced that the good way was the good way.
So
You
did
know,
we-
given how many details you misremembered from that, I'm not entirely convinced that you're not a psycho.
I was gonna just make the comment. To be fair, we didn't blow up the city. The city started walking.
Yeah. Also, there weren't 2 ways to go. You just thought that the one way that we were going was a good way to go, when I was saying it was not a good way to go.
But and then told everybody to go that way anyways.
Exactly, the way we're going, or the way we're not going. 2 ways to go.
Yeah.
To be fair, the way that we're going was the way we have to go to get to where we're trying to go to.
I do
See,
want
so it's
to,
the right way to go.
I do want to point out though, Hacks, that you definitely were like, we shouldn't go this way, unprepared. Instead of, we shouldn't go this way at all. So,
Well-
you're going that way.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
and
But we're going unprepared, which is an issue.
Doc convinced the
Have
party
we
to
gone
go that
anywhere
way.
prepared at all in this campaign?
Somewhat, sometimes marginally.
No, not at all.
Hmm.
Not even slightly.
Hey, we went into the radiation zone the second time with the radiation
The
ambulance.
second time. Before it, just before it killed you.
I mean, Doc is always prepared to do what he does.
So,
What is that? Stab people and get high?
oh no, he offers candy to children so that they will go along with him.
Yep.
Because that's literally what happened last session.
That makes it sound a lot worse than it is.
Especially when you know that Doc mixed the I can't remember what kind of pill, but some kind of pill in with a tin of mints.
Muscle relaxers, amphetamines, and some cinnamon mints.
So they're all the same
Yeah.
shape and color.
Yes. So the tin of mints is like playing Russian roulette.
Oh, yeah, and they got the caramel. 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 How did you say
Caramel
that word?
dancing?
Terrible.
Let's not argue about how to say caramel.
I
I'm
don't know
sorry,
if there
this
have
is
already
not my
been 3
language.
different pronunciations.
There's like
It's a
3 or
weak
4
word.
different ways to say that word.
What for caramel?
This
Yes,
is the
we-
first time
we-
hearing of it. Shush.
Now,
Yeah,
Yes.
Tom.
Let's move on.
you guys are now on your way through rainforest. Like I said, rainforest and some swamps.
At least we're not ever free.
I kind of like give a sideways look at Doc and say, "So, rolling hills, eh?"
B.
I started learning my ABCs. I know that one's next.
Do you know what comes after B?
I will note
Hold on.
that it is currently fairly easygoing. All things considered.
Hold on. Did you say after B or after D?
After B, before D.
D.
What are you guys even doing right now?
I'm learning my alphabet.
Yes.
They're teaching us how to
Oh,
read words.
so
Yep.
Nassa, what is your survival? What-
That is a good question. It is 16.
No, not the number. What is it for? It should say next to it. Swamplands?
Swampland.
Okay. So,
Should I be doing something differently then?
no, not for rainforest particularly, especially since swampland is kind of mixed into this area. But there are areas that will cause you problems. Like deserts, actually mountainous terrains, flat grasslands and prairies are not going to be as bad, depending on how dry. Sahara Desert, or things like that, or savannas. I don't know why I said Sahara.
Horsa.
So,
I will mention I have a survival for mountain. It's not as good as Nassa's, but it is for mountain.
so
Probably infinitely better than mine.
it is a good idea to know who is good surviving where, if they care to share, where their like homes are, because their homes will depict, or not depict, will determine what kind of survival they will have, if any.
I grew up in an urban environment.
You actually know where I'm from.
I grew up somewhere.
So I know how
Because
to live in a city.
Never been really dull.
Yes, but slashing, this is a regular jungle, not an urban jungle.
Ah,
An urban jungle be like that one city we were in?
Actually,
Yes.
yes.
Oh, that's convenient then.
Also, which city are you talking about? There's at least 3 you could be referring to.
Cancelot.
Also, before we get too far in, I am going to let the audience know that I will not be able to interact with the chat, and for Moonblood, the answer to that is it doesn't particularly have a name. It is a custom commissioned song by the artist Forever Free Brony. His channel link is in the description. If you liked his music, you can go ahead and take a look. So, back to
Technically, you can name the song yourself.
it does kind of have a name, but like there was no official decision on it. So
I mean, I just assumed the name is what he gave the file as for the final one, which is Who Named Us.
yeah, that's
Same.
kind of what I was going with. Because like he asked me what I wanted to name it, and I had no idea because I'd never thought about it that far. But we're gonna go ahead and continue. I need the travel rolls,
Yes, of course.
and I also need margin of success by Nassa for survival.
Okay, well, that
I see
failed
too.
perception.
I failed that perception too.
Margin of success of 7.
Okay. You are able to continue a full day's travel, but it looks like basically everybody is failing their.
Well, I can see.
No, I failed. I didn't fail mine, so.
I should also mention there is a -2 due to, rainforest. Have you ever been?
Alright, then I
Good
fail.
pass.
I still passed. Except on nose instead of by 2.
Okay, so we have 2 that
Yeah,
have passed
yeah, then I,
out of.
yes, then I failed because the unmentioned -2.
I forgot to mention it. Trying to make travel a little more interesting. Because, it's kind of been just roll a bunch of rolls. Okay, you see things.
Let's just wait until we're in some terrain where he gives us a -4 and we all fail.
Great.
And then we'll really be screwed.
That would be a weather-based effect. So, you guys traveling along, everything seems to be okay. Pretty quiet so far, other than, ambient forest sounds. And I will note, you no longer have the Pooh Brain Minotaur, but you do have Nebula following you still. And I'm pretty sure we don't have anybody else that is Pooh Brained at the moment.
Nope, the whole party's
Aware.
here.
So yeah, entire party is alert. But travel seems to be a little more difficult than it has been. Kind of akin to the time that you were in the Everfree. It is a bit rough going, but so far it seems like you have made a regular day's worth of travel, and now it is nighttime. What do?
Set camp.
Yeah,
Yes,
guess
that's
just
probably
so, yeah.
best.
So go ahead. Are you gonna do camouflage, or are you gonna do comfort or defensive?
Probably a normal camouflage.
Okay, go ahead and make your camouflage roll. No negatives.
I pass.
Okay. So you set up camp, everything's good. Who is first watch?
I'll take first. One.
I'll take first as well.
I will also note if you guys want to have Nebula watch, you have to ask her. She does not just watch for you. So go ahead and do your watch rolls.
Pass.
Okay. Doc?
Also pass.
So everything seems quiet. Tantibus is with you guys. Does seem a bit distracted compared to usual. What do? If anything. If not, then just say you're gonna wake up the next watch.
Probably ask about why distracted, but otherwise it's probably fine.
For once, you actually get somewhat of an answer as it vaguely gestures off in the direction that you guys were headed anyways.
Alright, well, we're going that way anyway.
And to answer your question, well, not really a question, but answer your doubt, it is difficult to dig in this terrain because of the massive web of tree roots beneath you. Because these trees are actually bigger than Everfree trees.
Whenever Nassal's done questioning the Tantibus, I'm just gonna wake up the next watch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who's going to be next watch?
Yeah, I'll do it.
I'm dead.
Okay. Then
I pass with you.
That's a pass.
It's a very good pass.
I don't think that's a...
No, it's not going to be a crit. It's not going to be a crit.
Yeah.
what is the margin of success?
Should be 8.
For me, it's a margin of success too.
So, as you are sitting having your watch, Glinker sees something moving in the distance, but whatever it is just out of like easy sight range. Like you get an impression of something shape has moved in distance.
Sai?
Yes.
I think I just saw something. Though it's hard to be certain.
Sai sees nothing.
Where did you see it?
I know,
Because I haven't seen anything.
it was off in that direction, but it was like far enough away that it was hard to make out anything. I just saw something move.
So, are you guys going to wake up next watch, or what are you going to do?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess, yeah. But I will tell whoever's going on next watch that to keep an eye out that way, because there was something moving.
Okay, who's next one?
Well, next watch would be, yeah, Moop and Visual.
Paige sounds very confused by this.
I have yet to do watch as well.
Oh yeah, I forgot that we have
Everybody
people
doesn't
to
have to.
7. Yeah.
You don't all have to do watch.
True.
Okay. So I will remind you that for each night that you go without sleep, you start taking a -1. Everybody that is on the watch needs to do their perception.
I succeed by 1 if the -2 is still in place.
Paige, I don't know what you just said because your mic ate about half of it.
I succeed by 1 if the -2 is still in place.
It is, trees. Trees are
Yeah.
making it hard to see. And
I can see.
you see nothing abnormal, like before Tantabus.
I spend the night just working on a necklace.
Okay. I might suggest reconnecting because your audio keeps going in and out. So, is daytime.
Is the day?
Yes.
It is daytime. Sounds like nighttime crickets outside.
No, this is nighttime.
Nighttime is.
This is
frogs.
daytime swamp.
Mm.
You have switched
Yeah.
terrains.
Yes.
So, travel rolls.
Alright,
See if I can see. Oh wait, I'm gonna do my health roll first.
yeah, I need to
That's
remove my
how-
health as well.
Okay, so that's a pass for the health, and then
Good job. You guys are remembering things.
Yes.
on
Okay,
occasion,
so pass my health, failed my perception.
and you got the same thing
That's
for
by
perception,
6.
so that's a pass. Yes, by 1.
So, no
minus
kind
2.
of penalties for you, Nassa,
Oh, okay.
with this being swamplands.
Wait, is there
However,
still the penalty for perception?
what is your margin of success for survival?
6.
Okay.
I will ask again, is there still a penalty for the perception?
Not as much. It's only a -1.
Okay, so that's passed by 2.
So, you guys are traveling along, and let's see, who passed by 5 or more?
I
I
don't.
have actually.
You see something not far from you guys, but it's like obscured by swamp water, plants, and things like that. What do? It seems
I thought
fairly
this,
largish.
I want to try to approach stealthily. Try to get an idea of what this is.
Roll a perception at a -2.
I pass.
So as you get closer, you realize that it is what appears to be the remains of a stone structure.
Can I try to identify what the stone structure might be?
You can attempt to roll an intelligence.
I pass.
It looks like it was part of a wall. That's really all you can tell. There's no identifying marks or anything like that.
How tall is it?
What's left of it is about 1.5 feet. It just barely sticks out of the water, but it is like big rocks that made it up, so it was probably part of a much larger structure.
I'm
Right.
going to turn to Nebula and ask, do you have any idea what this might have been?
I proudly jump onto it.
Nebula shakes her head.
Okay.
I am now on this wall, kind of. Can I see any other spots where a wall may have been, or is it just this one column? I think this is called pillar.
So it doesn't look like a column or a pillar. It actually looks like a section of wall, and that is all that's really there right now that you can see. You can roll a perception to see if you can find more, but other than that, like where you are right now, you do not see.
I pass.
Yes, from where you are, you really don't see much more. There is a good possibility that if you continue searching, you might see more.
I want to search. I do not have a searching skill.
So it would be perception -2.
In which case, that passes exactly.
This area, you find a few chunks of stone that could be like parts of the wall, but like no major structures yet.
Interesting. We'll have to keep eyes out for this then.
Okay, so you guys gonna continue the travel?
Yeah. Am I able to fly up ahead to see if that wall connects anywhere?
So you can fly, but the wall is actually lined up to go directly to the.
Perpendicular?
Yeah, I believe that's the word. Perpendicular.
Hmm.
So it is going away from your party.
Yeah. Fine. Let's just keep pressing on then.
Well, you can't roll a 23, Moop. So yeah, that makes sense that it is a 13.
What?
Today is the 29th. You can't roll a 19 either. So I also looked at the time, not the date, and it said 6:23, and that made sense at the time. So don't question.
And then you said it and realized, oh wait, that made 0 sense whatsoever. Great.
Don't
Good
question.
job,
it.
Nameless.
Shut up. Nobody asked you.
You seem to have confused the Moop greatly.
No, I think she's just disappointed.
I'm just.
So we're all disappointed, Nameless.
So, you guys do the travel.
Yes.
No, I changed the sound because it is nighttime.
Okay.
You need to roll camouflage.
Oh, yes. Yes.
That picture of
Okay.
Street.
Now, who is going to do first watch?
I shall.
I guess
I
will.
will.
Ellis, you
Wait,
got beat to
hold
it.
on. We don't need 3, we only need 2. Yes.
That's a fail.
Good job.
I pass.
So, Nassa, you see, ordinary swamp things.
I shall note, by the way, there are parts here when I just start to look like I am, not really concentrated on anything. I kind of have, 1,000 dead stare or something. And then, I'll hear something in the distance and I'll kind of, snap my head toward it. I heard something.
Nassa, you good over there?
Oh, yeah, there's just, listen. You can hear those frogs in the background, right?
Yeah?
Yes, I am listening to see what they're doing, and if there's anything that may disturb them, because then it could tell us if there's something approaching us. If you could listen to the cues in the environment, you can pretty easily tell if something's on their way. is very useful to know, especially when trying to navigate a swamp like this.
Neat.
So why would you rely on your sight when your sound is your greatest ally?
Okay. So, are we like? Nah. So I'm just gonna grab the Ouija board and sit down with the Tantibus. If it wants to say anything, other than that, I'll just like play tic-tac-toe.
Alright, I should be fine, holding it down. This is sort of my element.
Okay.
Je manquais le son.
So if you would like, you can go ahead and wake up the next watch.
Oh yes, sure. I should do that.
I will be next watch.
I will join.
Okay.
And it's only a -1 to perception, right?
Yep.
Okay, I succeed by 1.
And Ellis?
I have a 10 and a 13, so-
What?
and I don't have any.
I'm going to pretend that he said he passed because I'm pretty sure that passes for him.
Is everyone bringing out the ham radios tonight? Like, goddamn.
So
It seems
Apparently,
like it.
very.
you guys don't see anything of note. Who is doing final watch?
I'll go third watch. I am a snow slideshow. Ooh, I passed quite nicely.
Okay.
I go to check up on Moop to make sure Moop's doing all good.
Is the Moop asleep?
No.
No, the Moop is not
Moop
asleep.
is just on the floor on their head.
I see.
Moop, you doing all good there?
This is the fourth night.
Because I hate to point that out, but that does not look comfortable.
It's not. This is the fourth night. No, this is comfortable.
In case you were wondering about trying to dig yourself a hole, it is not a good place to try and dig yourself a hole.
No. I knew after the moment we got in here that no, it's not going to be good terrain to dig at all. But even before this, I wasn't sleeping well. It just feels like shit. And that 8 was for something else, and it still fucking failed.
Okay. Are you two going to do a thing?
I am surprised how I don't think I'm going to do a thing.
Not that I'm aware of. But yeah, nothing really important to do, so yeah, let's just move on then.
So, I would suggest health rolls.
Oh wow, I passed nicely.
I'm almost back to full health.
I did too.
I'm just continuing to not heal.
I am confused on what... Are you okay, Moop?
What's happening?
Is the cameo okay?
Cameo does not sound like me, okay?
No, I am not.
Bloop, alley bloop. Are you okay?
She just said no.
I probably should have caught that the first time.
Probably.
What's
So-
wrong?
Fail on both ends.
Okay.
That sounds very concerning.
Doc, are you not gonna do the thing? Was Doc even here? Are they on meds again?
Moon
Is
is
the
not.
doc going to
Probably.
be practicing medicine?
Moon.
Uh.
Welcome, Sim. Moon.
Let it cut out.
There we go.
Last I checked, Sim's been here for a bit. It's just Moon that is.
Yeah,
No,
Moon.
Moon just said something.
Mood, you
So,
there?
what's going on?
They just did health checks, and I think Moop failed.
Ah, I see.
Also, if you are doing health checks and you want to check on specific people more than others, you can ask their state, and the player will give the information.
So, as for Moop, apparently, Moop be struggling.
Are you going to perform a checkup on Moop?
Yep.
Moop, what is the state of Moop?
Very slow. Broken at the moment.
Broken.
Duct tape cannot fix.
Like broken bones?
I don't know at this point. Just broken.
I would imagine that the lack of sleep would be something that would be, at this point, a visual issue.
As someone currently on 1 hour of sleep, yes, it would be.
Or make camp, I'll give you some candy.
I'm not hungry.
Well, of course not right now. I said when we make camp.
So, everybody make their travel rolls.
That's a pass.
I
see some miserable fail.
Alice!
I see two miserable fails.
Oh, damn it!
I was going to say, is everyone glossing over the Moon draw, which is exactly the same.
I guess me and Moon walk off on a tangent somewhere.
Are those crit fails for both of you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this will be
Margin
interesting.
of success for Nassa.
And survival, margin of success by 3.
Yes. So
I will say, well, that,
you guys only make it about a half day of travel because Moop and... Or not Moop. Why did I say Moop? Doc and Sai are both now stuck.
How did you get stuck?
Is it quicksand?
Roll your survival, Nassa.
I passed by 5.
So, looking at where they got stuck, it's not quite quicksand, but it's something almost as bad. And you didn't notice because you knew what you were doing. Your party didn't notice because they didn't know what they were looking at.
In my defense, I may have gained some weight since I last saw y'all.
He is
I'm
currently
probably
up
just-
to his neck in mud.
what about me?
All that
Hey,
can
well-
be seen of you is a nose.
I tend to use magic to move the mud out of the way.
So, is that the spellcasting roll?
Yeah. I'm casting Shape Earth.
I tried to find some vines or some foliage to help pull them out.
So, while you do get them temporarily undug, The mud moves about as quickly as water. Well, slow water. And
You mean thick
you don't
water?
you don't really have long until they're back in the exact same predicament. You also don't know how big of a patch this is.
Flashing, might I recommend you try to pull them out with telekinesis as opposed to trying to move the mud away from them?
And also try to pull them out with their vines, but you know.
I will note telekinesis would require you to not be trying to move the mud. And on top of that, you can only do one at a time.
Yeah.
And it will require an intelligence -2 for your check. Because, there is something pulling them back.
I'm going to attempt to pull the one that's currently just a nose out of the mud.
Good choice.
And I fail.
Miserably. God damn it.
Oh boy.
Nassa, you can attempt to remove Doc from the mud.
That's also not happening.
So, Nassa.
Yeah.
Is that a crit fail? Because I feel like that's a crit fail. Let me check this. Because you shouldn't have... Yes, Nassa is now also stuck in the mud.
How badly is Nassa stuck in the mud?
She's only up to her, around her torso. But too much struggling means farther into the mud.
I'm not struggling, just pass me a vine, I can grab it from my mouth.
I'm going to fly above the mud and try to find a vine or something that it can use to grab onto.
Roll a quick perception. So you do see what looks like a sturdy enough vine that you can try and drag them out.
I'm going to use Earth to Stone to turn the mud into dirt.
I want to point out that's not going to help too much for the one that is literally barely able to breathe.
Guys, we have a treaded vehicle. Let's grab vines, throw them to them, tie it to the back, and pull them out with that, which won't get pulled back in.
I probably can't even hear you.
I'll use the telekinesis to get the bug out. The -2.
And just use the vine on me.
That is just success.
So,
yeah, Cammy, I'm thinking along those lines with the vines and stuff. And also, because if they're stuck in, you can't just walk in. You require people who can fly.
So for both Nassa and what's it called? For Nassa and Vigil.
Moon. What? Where? How? What?
Let's not question it and continue. You both need to roll strength. One of you to hold the vine to not get it yanked out of your teeth, and the other to pull the stuck one out of the mud. So.
Well, that's a fail by 1.
So, Nassa, you had such a good grip on it that he dropped it.
I will mention again, we have a treaded vehicle that could pull them out.
That is made of metal, that if you run into another one of those patches, will go straight to the bottom.
Also, I'm surprised that we're able to get said dreaded vehicles through this terrain.
Don't worry about it.
It touches the mud and it instantly just goes straight down.
As long as it's just water and not mud, it can make it through.
And can you still try getting me out?
I will attempt to use my telekinesis to pull Nassa out.
No, that's going to be a pass.
So
now, Doc, do you want assistance in the form of magic, or...
You have yoinked the Nassa out of the mud.
I imagine there was a loud squelching noise as she came out.
You know that sound when you stick your thumb in a bottle and then you pull it out? Yeah, that pop?
Yes.
Yeah, that's about what it sounded like.
Also, I asked the question, does the doc want the assistance in the form of telekinesis?
I would appreciate it. I read about
Okay.
lead baths in a bunch of pre-war books, however, I don't see what all the hype is about.
It's very much different than with Beth.
I pulled the doc out.
That is with a -2 as well?
Yes, that's with the -2.
Okay.
I'm envisioning an even louder pop.
It's a more prolonged pop.
I'm going to try and find a rain cloud to try and get the mud off of them.
Well, there's plenty of fog around now.
But then we already got Cynex out, right?
Yes, I pulled Cyanide out this at first, and then I pulled you, and then I pulled Doc.
Am I able to coalesce the fucker into a cloud?
It takes you a little while and a lot of work, but you do eventually manage it. By now, everybody's mud has been as dry as you can get in the swamp.
I tell those three to get underneath the cloud that I've just formed.
I'm probably going to be taking an extra long shower because I've got a lot of crevices.
I get under the cloud.
You need to be careful about this. Don't want to accidentally create another quicksand pit or something. Or mudslide or whatever.
Okay, so I assume the Nassa is under as well.
Yes.
I go and poke the cloud to get it to rain.
I believe you actually have a skill for that.
I'm pretty sure I do.
I don't remember.
Yes, rain.
There you go.
Oh, I don't like its sting, but sure. And that's a fail.
Hold on just a sec.
It defaults to 8 as its skill level. So, But don't worry, my lightning's 15 for some reason.
My lightning is 8.
Please do not hit us with lightning.
I'm not like IQ plus 5 as opposed to rain, wind, snow, and clouds, which are IQ -2.
Wait, where is it? I'm trying to...
Spells.
Oh, there it is. Spells, yes. Wind.
They're all IQ -2 except for lightning, which is IQ plus 5.
Why is your lightning IQ plus 5? Mine is still IQ -2.
I don't know, my lightning is IQ plus 5, it just is.
Also, because they're IQ -2, mine are all 11.
Yes, well, I only have an intelligence of 10.
Look at Mr. Average Intelligence over here.
Hey.
You made the cloud angry, and Nassa gets hit with lightning.
Come on.
Which, give me just a sec.
Didn't mean to do that. Did not mean to do that.
Wait, does it give you damage dice for it?
For lightning, yes, 1d6 -1.
You fucker.
You take 4 points of lightning damage, Nassa. I find it ironic that it was the one that told him specifically not to hit her with lightning.
Yeah.
Apparently this cloud has ironic sense of humor.
Okay, what if I try and get the cloud to rain?
I think I'm
Yes,
okay with.
please, you try.
I think I'm okay without it. I'm just gonna drag Nassa away.
The cloud starts raining! That is a pass by 4.
That would have passed with me as well.
Good job, Petro.
I'm still gonna stay away from that rain.
You suck at being a Pegasus.
I mean, I don't know, I seem to fly quite well.
I'm going to try to get some of the mud off me.
And try and calm down your now very staticky fur.
So, for everybody, if you didn't notice, the change of sound means it is nighttime.
Ah, night.
Let us set up a camel place. A camp. Which is the best.
Doc did a
Before
very good
anybody else.
did a very good physician.
Congratulations, you know I was struck by lightning.
I believe that actually does more than that.
Yeah, diagnostics is figuring what's wrong. Physicians knowing like what to do to fix it.
I mean, once someone is struck by lightning, there's not a whole lot you can do to fix it.
No, but you
It
can
just
make sure
exists.
they aren't going to die from it.
Yeah, that's about it, though. I mean,
Other than being a bit frazzled, I feel like Nassa shall survive.
though in saying that, though, Nassa will get a cool temporary tattoo. As with all lightning strike victims.
In a lot of cases, those are permanent.
Really, I thought they like subsided after a few weeks.
A little bit.
Sometimes, not always.
So, it went up one. Go ahead, and everybody that is doing watch, figure out who's doing watch so that we.
First.
I'll do first watch.
Okay.
I will also do first watch.
I said first.
Oh. Or second watch.
Yeah,
Second watch is okay.
I'll take second with Doc then.
Unless your mic keeps eating stuff.
During first watch, I assist Cameo, or the Moop, in attempting to make a bed that they can sleep in.
That reminds me. I give Cameo a piece of candy.
What does it taste like?
Sweet dreams.
I wouldn't be surprised.
So, Cameo, I need you to go ahead and roll a health check. Watch her pass this one.
Nameless.
Does that pass with the negatives?
Oh, the negatives though.
Ah.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, that's a low roll.
You have been drugged to sleep.
Alright, what did the physician stuff do again? I didn't hear you, I apologize.
So, physician is like, it's not just medical examination, but it's also like treatment.
Depends on the medication strength that Doc used, actually. Is it... Moon, was that a sedative, or was that, like, melatonin?
It was like melatonin. You think I'm going to just give away all my sedatives? No, I start with police treatment first. Otherwise, I run out of all the good stuff for myself.
Exactly.
He has to keep the ketamine for himself.
So did I get any hit points back from the physician roll?
Maybe.
Moon?
Also, for the first watch, you guys don't see anything.
Okay.
I'm waiting for Moon to finish his roll. Apparently, you get back 10 hit points.
Okay then.
Is it all in one place?
So,
that's useful.
For next watch.
I'll take next watch.
So,
yeah, I'm also on second watch.
Yeah, Moon already claimed second, so yeah. Both you two are on the second there.
Also, would I have noticed that Moop has not has a... Would I have noticed that Moop would have woken up if Moop does wake up. Because
Depends on Moop if Moop is like acting like she's asleep or not, and how actively you are watching said Moop.
I'm not watching too actively, but I do want to double check because I am concerned.
Yeah, with something as weak as melatonin, it would still allow for like dreams and whatnot. I see. Moop is trying to fly again. Which, with what will be a -5 now, if I remember correctly.
Moop?
And I will say that now that you have hit -5, every day you will lose a fatigue point until you can no longer actively move.
Moop, you seem kind of tired. Do you want me to get something stronger from Doc?
It's not gonna work.
Bold statement.
Will it not work because like you're a dragon? Will it not work because of other medical reasons?
I will note that some medications are powerful enough to knock out a baby dragon. It may not be the world's greatest sleep, but it will be enough to at least knock off one negative.
Listen, I'm just getting a bit worried because you're not sleeping. Sleep is very good for you.
It's very hard to sleep in this type of place. And sleeping is just hard in general.
I mean, I sleep like a fool here, but I kind of grew up in weather like this.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I will note that Nassa is kind of just covered in an array of different colors of mud.
Yes, and it's comfortable.
For you, yes.
But we normally had little shacks and stuff that we had in the trees because it made it a lot easier. Ground is very cold.
For somebody that seems to like burrowing every time she goes to sleep, though, she would wake up to almost drowning within about half an hour, considering the water table in areas like this, if it didn't fill up immediately.
Yeah, the tides would kind of cause that, you know, like, do you know how, like, water level works and all that?
I will note that the majority of the areas you guys have been wading through, you have been wading through.
Yeah, I love it. Walking through some nice, cool water. Plus, if we need any extra food supplies, the duckweed is perfectly acceptable and edible. Good protein, too. Have you ever tried duckweed?
No.
I'm going to have to make some for you. It is very good as a vegetarian option.
At least it wasn't half meat.
I said duckweed. Duckweed is like these little. I have no idea how to describe them. Hold on. When I go see our vegetarian pony, I will inform them of all of this. But I am pretty concerned because you really need to sleep, and I don't know what to do to help with that.
Are any of these trees hollow? Can you do me that?
Probably find some.
You can roll a perception check to try and search some of the trees.
Yes, I will do that. I pass.
You do find one. It is mostly uninhabited. There's a few bugs in it, but, nothing large.
Yeah, they could be at breakfast if they try getting too close to you anyway. Do you think this would be acceptable for you?
At least for now. I'll try sleeping in that.
Alright. I leave Moop to the tree, and I'm gonna go on my actual watch now.
Okay. Dice Maiden does not like you right now. So, if you're doing the actual watch now, then you might as well head to wake up the next watch as well. Who is next watch? Final watch.
I'll take it.
I'll go final watch. That's a pass.
That's
From
a
both of
pass.
us.
Okay, so you guys do not actually see anything of note.
Alright then.
Wait, can I go searching for some duckweed when it's now in the morning? Because I realized how good of a food source that might be.
Herblore.
Herblore. I don't pass Herblore.
That would be the finding and identifying of the thing that you are looking for.
Okay, but duckweed is very easy to find. Like, relatively speaking.
It would still fall under herblore. It'd just be you just need a lower margin of success to succeed.
Yeah, that's why there's no negatives. Because, it's also your home territory kind of deal, except, not in your home country. But it would appear that in this area there is not much, if any, because you were unable to find it.
Unfortunate. Probably not near any of the wider open areas.
So, if anybody's going to go ahead and start the travel rolls,
I'm gonna do
or
my
health
roll.
checks, and
I was just trying to show you all what duckweed looks like.
Okay, I am back
My
to
health
full
check
health.
fails.
yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, that stuff should be piss easy to find. Swamps are generally full of it.
Yeah, I know. That is why I'm saying. Like, that's just everywhere.
Like, anywhere there's water in a swamp, there is duckweed.
I'd like to prove that wrong. As someone whose suburb was built on a swamp, that is not the case here. There are still active swamplands around me.
I will also say that, surprisingly, this would be similar to the swamp that Petrol would know because of heat. It has been very hot and humid. Because I will also point out that this is getting very close to a desert area.
Yeah.
Literally within spitting distance.
We still have the -1 to perception, right?
Yes. Mostly
Right.
for fog
Not
and
me.
So that's
taller
a fail.
plants.
Past
I
the fine
see.
colours.
I do great in this kind of setting.
I failed by 1.
So,
God damn it.
what is your margin of success for survival?
7, I think.
You are
Yes.
able to steer the party without any incidents. By the way, Hacks, speaking of your little contraption, how much would that weigh, considering you most likely made it out of solid bronze?
Probably in the range of 2,000 to 3,000 pounds.
That's huge.
I'm sorry that
It is about the size of a car.
I
Okay.
thinking that you had made something smaller, you've already lost that thing. That thing's been gone.
Yeah, I would assume so.
I thought it was like the size of like a bomb robot.
I was thinking like a wheelbarrow size. Maybe
I was
like
thinking,
2, maybe 300 pounds.
I told you
I told you when I made it that the size of the cargo bed was like the size of a twin bed.
Yeah, no, that thing was gone as soon as you guys got into the swamp. So
Yeah.
Bye contraption.
Damn it.
So for everybody else.
I just realized we had all of our food.
Good job.
Oh god, looks like we need to go hunting. Like right now.
Yeah, we're at 3. About 3 days worth of rations. Which was why I was trying to keep an eye out for duckweed.
Well,
How much of the food was being kept on the pack mule?
Pretty much all of it.
Yeah.
So what wasn't ruined, you can roll a percentage and actually just flip a coin. 1, you salvaged about half of it. 2, you didn't salvage any. You didn't salvage any.
Right, I'm gonna go hunting.
Well, let's go hunting.
You can also, for Nassa,
Moop, you can't exactly carry much.
I will let you use your survival to do a check to see if you can find any kind of edible plant life as well, which will include duckweed.
Do you have naturalist? Would naturalist do something like that?
Well, I can do it with naturalist as well, but I already passed survival too. That would have passed both for either of them.
So you are able to find about 54 pounds of like assorted plant life that is edible.
How many days of rations do you think I can make that?
Depends on how you spread it out.
Given that it's a plant, it would take a lot, so presumably only, like, at most a week.
Well, there's 7 of us, keep in mind.
That's what I mean, at most that would last us a week worth of rations.
I don't necessarily need to eat food.
You also
Yeah, okay,
have
fair
to.
enough. 6 of us.
You also have to take into account that if you just straight eat the plant by itself, it'll not last as long as you try, say, cooking it into something.
Yeah, I'll try cooking it into something, but I did want checking to try and find something. Because I do want to try to hunt something done.
I was getting to that we were dealing with the plants first.
Yes, of course.
Yes, and whilst Nassa is tracking on, trailing behind.
Okay. So you guys pick up a set of tracks, but they are not normal looking tracks.
Oh god, let's not hunt another changeling, please.
I won't miss this time.
You're saying that like we meant to hunt the first changeling.
You guys...
Well...
You take about an hour to follow the tracks, which you can tell which ones are fresh and which ones are not. You know, things like water in the tracks and whether or not things have covered over them. But eventually you do find something. Roll perception for both of you at a +2. It's not that hard to see, but...
Okay, well, I passed because of the +2, and then, yeah.
That's not
I
crit.
get critted. Yeah.
Hey, Vigil, hey.
Yeah.
Roll a will save.
Hey, I passed with the +2 though.
Exactly.
Roll a will save.
Oh, aha!
Yeah,
fuck you.
It's a changeling, isn't it?
What you guys are looking at is a gargantuan centipede.
Oh no!
Oh my!
This thing is at least 15 foot long.
Oh my god.
Do you think we could still kill this?
Welcome to the Carboniferous period.
Yes, Nassa, we can, but we've got to be careful about this.
Do you want to eat that? Oh god.
Are there any
From-
trees?
Nassa, from where you're sitting with your roll, you get a really good view of it. It's got a pair of stingers on its ass and some of the most vicious looking mandibles you've seen on a bug on the other end.
So it's basically a giant desert centipede that's the size of a school bus.
Hold on, would I have seen one of these before?
Much smaller, yes. You've never seen one this size. And you do know that they were fairly hard to kill even when they were little.
So, are we talking like Amazonian giant centipede, but bigger?
Basically.
Oh no.
Considering the phobia, it might be easier to try to search for something else. Even though I do like the challenge.
I mean, if it's dead, I'm no longer afraid of it.
That's so questionable.
I still won't like it, but at least it's dead.
I gesture at it. Do you think it looks dead to you?
No, but I can make it.
So, all you need to do then is just not miss.
Right, are there any trees nearby that I can hide in?
There is what you could have called a tree a few years ago, but right now it kind of looks like a dead stick.
I imagine I cannot climb into this.
What's that?
I imagine I probably cannot climb into this.
Not really. Yeah, a big flat tank.
Alright, so, is its head visible?
Yes. It currently
Can I
seems to be
see its
eating
eyes?
what looked like a decent-sized frog.
Can I see its eyes from here?
Not really.
Can I aim at its head from here?
Yes.
How much of a minus would it be if I aim for its head?
Same as it would be if you were like aiming for any other creature's head. So look at your character sheet and it'll give you that bonus.
Yes.
Or negative. Yeah, that's kind of closer to what I was thinking, honestly.
Alright,
With Petrol's not sure which end is front. But Nassa rolled high enough that Nassa knows which end is front.
alright, I'll gesture and try to show, like, where we're supposed to shoot. I'll say, alright, take aim, be very careful about it. This is where you shoot, okay?
Okay.
I was more thinking like this.
Alright.
Also, first like the giant Amazonian ones, so...
I always think of the giant desert.
We'll be very careful and aim. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out.
I proceed to take aim.
Shoot!
Hold on, I gotta think for this.
Alright. But I will say that we are aiming for a little bit so that we can have the aim skill focused on it for several seconds.
Are you guys firing?
Yes, but after we've aimed.
It's gonna be more than that's actually fired, but here we go. I have gun sounds.
Oh.
I believe we both passed considering the
definitely
bonus that we
passed
get from aiming.
Yeah.
Oh, wrong noise. So. Okay. And both of you need to roll damage. Remember the negatives and positives, or like the additions to like headshots. And just give me like the whole thing total. Do I have like
I did
let's see.
I did 44 damage to the head. I rolled like pretty much as low as possible.
Yeah, that was a pretty low roll for you.
This I got exactly the same.
Did you take the addition?
It's times 4. It's times 4, so we both got 44 damage to the head.
Okay. That is...
Good job, Nameless.
That is definitely right.
Yes, you have done
Yes.
done the succeed.
Do they get XP for it?
It's very weird. I don't know what's happening.
Sorry, I was having a bit of fun with the soundboard. So,
Do we level up?
when you guys both
With the
take
XP from that and from finishing the quest line, yes!
the centipede's head just kind of disintegrates in a spray of bug bits, and it flops down. We can't use that one. That one's copyright.
Yes, that's all.
Let's cut this fucker open and get some meat from it.
So, are you guys gonna do it there, or are you gonna take it back to the group?
We could probably cut this open here, right?
I'm not touching
Not
anything.
that. Fine, I'll cut it myself.
So, we go ahead and use your cooking -3.
Pass.
I'm surprised Nassa didn't just add the 15-foot centipede to her equipment.
No, we have to break this thing down.
Okay.
Completely misses the point, but sure.
You get about 120 pounds worth of meat.
How many rations do you think I can make that into?
Again, it depends on how you prepare it.
Given that it's pretty much pure protein, that's easily a week, if not
Bug
2
soup.
weeks.
I'm going to go ahead and say 2 weeks.
I mean, you can easily get by on a pound a day.
So,
For creatures made up, for animals made up of this much muscle, probably not.
2 pounds a day.
Moon, I will mention, if we were humans, but we're horses.
Yeah, but there's
Also,
What are you talking about?
I think I will
Horses got
default to the
precious
animal
meat as well.
biologist.
horses struggle to process meat. They don't have the proper enzymes that humans do, so they will need a lot more in order to get the same nutritional value.
So, how much would you say would be a feasible amount for something about 5 foot tall?
Instead of 1 or 2 pounds a day, like I say, closer to 5.
So, about 5 pounds of meat per person per day, with
About that.
exception being Moop, who would probably, with a size difference and being a
Different
carnivore,
dietary.
they would probably need less.
Because they can process meat about as well as we can process most plants. We can get some nutrients out of it, but not much.
I will just mention that a normal horse will eat like 20 pounds worth of various foodstuffs in a day. Most of that being hay, though.
Yes, which contains pretty much no nutrients because it's dried. I mean, dried does contain a lot of nutrients, but still, grass is better.
I will say, to be
It
fair,
doesn't
my
contain
dad grew up
water, but
eating
it
meat
still
a lot.
contains a lot of the nutrients.
Yeah,
But, I mean, I'm pretty sure horses can break down cellulose, so
they
do
can.
yeah.
They can break down cellulose. That is part of how they eat.
So they get a decent amount of nutrition from that, and that is a lot of just, food, just weight.
Yeah, which is why I'm saying they can process meat, just not very well.
Yeah.
I would argue that we would be able to process it at least marginally better.
I am going to say the zebra could require maybe 4 pounds, but that's because we're going with the assumption that she is coming from a tribal area that kind of just subsisted on anything. The majority of the rest of you, with the exception of Doc and Clinker,
The dragon would need a similar match to the rest of the party simply because dragons require a very high protein diet because dragons.
I would also point out, though, she's like a
Babe.
third of your size.
She is small dragon.
Yes, and maybe like a pound less, but still a very high protein diet because dragon.
So, average, I would say, is probably about 5 pounds each. To go be
And
safe.
if you attempt to feed it to me, I
simplify
just
it.
throw up.
Except for the
still have your
vegetarian.
vegetarian. We have your rations ready for you. Shush.
So, 120 pounds of meat and 54 pounds of plant life.
Alright. Well, I have my things noted. Alright. Oh, we now have some food to last us for a bit.
So,
We can get about 2 weeks worth out of the food we've currently got.
you guys still have some time left in the day to actually do a little more travel because, Nassa did good at the survival. So if everybody can go ahead and just... We don't need another survival roll, but we need more perception rolls.
I succeed on those.
I pass by should be 2.
So once again, all of us passed except Moop. Got it. And Doc.
Doc, you are very bad at seeing any of the things.
Apparently.
There's going to be no surprise that Moop was failing that roll, so...
Okay. And I believe since this is your first time at a -5, Moop, you are also losing 1 fatigue point and cannot regain until sleep.
Alright. As we're traveling though and looking for a spot to set up camp, I'm going to be looking for dead trees. Ones that are probably hollowed out at least somewhat.
Do you have a search skill?
No?
Then perception -3.
Pass.
Okay. So, as you guys are making your way along, nothing really of note other than, the oversized bug. Which means I would point out that there's probably more in the area. You are able to find a suitable tree. And it is nighttime.
Alright, I'll camouflage our camp and then I'm going to show Moop the tree that we found.
We'll note for those of you that have been ignoring her, Nebula is looking more distracted than usual. She's got a standard 1,000 yard stare, but this one seems to be focused at something that is 1,000 yards away.
I'm gonna walk over to Nebula and just kind of be like, hey, what you looking at there?
She kind of jumps like you startled her, despite, not being sneaky. And she looks at you almost confused, then looks out in the distance and says, I'm not sure.
Could you describe it?
She shakes her head and then sits on her rump, kind of staring out in the distance like, there's something over there.
Should we go investigate?
She looks up at the sky and says, probably not at night.
Start heading that direction?
Are you just wandering out in that direction?
Tomorrow?
I will note that it is the almost it is perpendicular to where you guys were already headed. So it will be up to the party to decide. Now, who is taking first watch?
Shall.
I'll also take first watch and make sure Moop is actually sleeping.
Moop, this will make a -6 for you. Doc, what do you do to make sure the Moop is actually asleep?
Offer her better candy.
Offering candy plus?
Is this the ketamine?
I don't think we've got that far yet.
Are you escalating that far, or are you just trying something like trazodone?
I will use a oral sedative wrapped in
Okay.
carrot.
So
The dragon it has to be stronger than ketamine.
I don't
not
know if I can stomach
Ketamine.
that.
depends on the actual dosage based on her size. Dragons, just because they're dragons, do not get special immunities.
Right.
So she with
I don't know if this happens.
Doc, go ahead and send me what sedative you're thinking in DMs, and then I will have her roll accordingly.
On a side note, have any of you guys actually end up staying up that long for like 5-6 days?
Yes.
Yeah,
Regrettably,
got
yes.
close.
Oh, okay. Let me double check. Do you have a dosage in mind already, or just standard?
Yeah.
I remember staying up one time that long. I couldn't eat for anything.
Just wait until Doc has to escalate to carfentanil.
Oh, really? It's not that big. I'm going with the assumption, though, that it is a dosage meant for a creature much larger than, you know,
It's dosage meant for
maybe
Horus, not...
1.5 foot, 2 foot tall dragon.
I mean, if the original dose would have been too big, then I probably would have like broken it in half.
So, what I was looking at, standard dosage anywhere between 2 to 10 milligrams.
Yep.
So, pick a number between there, and that'll be the dosage you.
I probably would have went with 10 as a base, or like 10 milligram pills. So probably give.
I think that is the prescription dose for a standard human. So,
I mean, given we're talking about,
Okay.
I mean, Doc here, I'm assuming it would be something more along the lines of like xylazine because of common horse trank.
I will send you just for opinion.
Oh, yes, that'll work. Not very effectively, but it'll work.
It'll put her down enough to remove at least one.
Eventually.
I don't know. Given the size that it's meant to go for and the size that she is, it'd be pretty potent for her. So go ahead and roll a health check with all the applied negatives. Not you, Moon.
But what if Moon wants to?
Yeah, well, if I want the other half.
So,
There's not enough room in this tree, and I'm not even in the tree properly.
that is an effectively, you had to beat a 4 unless your health was higher. So yes, you have been knocked the hell out, and it is an actual sedative. It will, but you're not coming out, as far as I remember. So you got dosed with Valium. And if the starting dose is 10 milligrams and he broke that in half, which means you have 5 milligrams of it for someone that is a lot smaller than, the type of people that would be taking this kind of dosage, yeah, you're kind of you're out cold. But I don't think it actually disrupts, like, dreaming. Unless Moon or Petrol knows something I don't.
I also am going to make sure Moop is placed nice and comfortably into the dead tree.
Possible side effect is vivid dreams.
Ah.
Oh no, that is not gonna. Oh.
Roll a percentage. We're gonna say 1 to 30 is going to be vivid dreams.
I already had a bunch of dreams before this too.
So you do not have dreams. So you get about as good of a sleep as you can get on a sedative. Which I will note, not necessarily the world's greatest sleep, but it'll do what it needs to. Doc, you have found a sedative that works. So you're back down to a -5. You will still lose a fatigue point the next day, but you are not advancing further in negative. So, who is going to be first watch?
Aisha.
Okay.
Already on first watch.
And I think the wait, did you already roll for your watch, Doc? There we go. Oh, you rolled the exact same thing. So
Apparently, drugging people makes me more alert.
So, other than, Nebula and the Tantabus both being awake, staring in the exact same direction from opposite sides of the camp, nothing seems to be out of the ordinary.
Aside from that thing that is very much out of the ordinary.
Yeah, obviously nothing's out of the ordinary here.
So I am going to have, from now on, the people doing the watch will decide who they wake up, just because it makes a little more sense. So...
Fair.
No, there's not here. I'm waking up someone.
you
Clinker,
just
I
randomly...
guess.
Clinker?
Clinker's being woken up.
Okay.
Your watch.
Doc, who's your replacement? If any.
The first sleeping person I find.
Okay, how many people do we have? So 5, roll a d5, and then Ellis, you're 1. Paige, you're 2. Petrol is 3. Wait, is that 4? No, it's 4. Roll a d4. Because
I guess I'm 5.
Reload a 5. Reload a 5.
I got 1 level of reduced sleep anyway, so I'm okay with that.
So Doc just doesn't wake anyone up and continues to watch.
Apparently.
Really?
Okay.
All right.
Doc is apparently just picking up the slack today.
Okay. Will I pass?
Doc's gonna end up with back pain.
Wow.
You do need to roll a new perception.
So, Doc, are you just not sleeping tonight?
I'll figure out to keep track of me.
Okay.
Also, that's a fail by 1.
Okay. So, Clinker,
Mm-hmm.
other than what I was mentioned previously, you do see something very large, fat-looking, and you can tell from here it's slimy. Kind of moving its way through the swamp near your camp.
Hey, Doc, there's something over there.
Have you tried shooting it?
That is not a good first initial response.
You're right. Have you tried stabbing it?
That is not either! We should try to figure out what it is, though.
I go to take a look.
Go ahead and roll an aerial knowledge at a -2.
Which one of us?
Not you.
Okay.
Doc is more widely traveled. Yours would be at a -8.
That is still possible for me to pass.
Yes, you are watching a giant leech making its way somewhere.
Oh, I don't like the sound of that.
Oh, hey, it's the leash. A little bit too big to use for medical purposes, but, they're not too bad to eat.
I will note that the one that you did eat was about the texture and kind of what's the word I'm looking for?
Consistency?
Consistency, there we go. Texture and consistency of snot.
Yeah.
Although it didn't taste horrible.
You just gotta make sure you dry them out first. Add a little bit of salt if you got it.
So, should we wake up the ones with the big guns?
Is it coming, right for the camp?
No, it is on its way, kind of... It moved past the camp, and it is kind of angled outwards, away from the camp, in its direction.
Is it worth getting for food, or...
I mean, it's not worth waking up everyone in order to get it.
Okay.
Because I definitely can't shoot a bow. And if I shoot my pistol, everyone's just gonna wake up.
It's also, from what the Psycho tribe that you ate it with, it is not easy to kill. Because there are no obvious vital points. So you just kind of thump it until it dies.
I'm just gonna keep my gun out and keep an eye on it.
Okay, next watch.
Okay.
Who are you waking up this time?
Nebula has passed out on the spot where she was staring.
Is Tantabus still staring in the same direction?
Tantabus is...
Wake up. Guns a-blazing.
Wait, you waking up Vigil?
Yep.
Okay. I heard guns and blazing in the same sentence.
me.
But
just so you know, there's a giant leech over there. It shouldn't really cause any problems, but if it starts looking all wiggly and aggressive, feel free to shoot it. I don't know where, just a lot.
Great. Exactly what I wanted to wake up to.
But no, Nameless, is the Tantabus still staring in the same direction?
Yes.
Okay, so they were not looking at the leech.
No, the leech was on the opposite side of the camp from where they're looking. It kind of came up from the path that you guys were coming, but angled in a different direction.
I am gonna wake up Sai.
Okay? The two of you need to make your rolls.
I pass.
So do I. So we both passed, okay.
Yes. So, about the same as everybody else saw. Nothing really happening right now. You guys going to do a thing?
Nope.
It is daytime.
Maybe we can figure out the check of the...
Yeah. The shotgun thing is not a thing that you're going to be able to easily figure out.
I know. Who knows?
So, everybody make their health checks. Moop, you are now awake. You feel groggy. You still feel tired, but you feel slightly better than you did before.
Nope. I don't need to make health checks, I'm full.
I am full for once. Let's see how long this lasts.
Position.
Hey, I gain a point.
I do too.
Alright, who wants to make bets as to how long I'll stay at full health for?
I give it about 5 more minutes.
Yeah, that's about what I would go with.
Wait a second, you're the DM. Insider deals, insider.
Hey,
That's
it's Sai
summer.
firing a shotgun.
It's exactly what happened last time, too.
The look of surprise.
See, that
Just like,
wasn't
wait,
supposed
where'd
to
it go?
happen.
Wait, hold on, where did it go?
So,
They're lucky they weren't standing in the way.
for you guys now, you have a decision to make. The Tantabus and Nebula were looking in a direction.
Are they looking in opposite directions?
Same
Nope,
direction.
they were looking in the same direction.
Probably
say we
don't
go
follow
that
that.
I say we go that direction.
Does the whole party agree?
Yes.
I didn't see the Tandapus looking that direction because I fell asleep and just no one woke me up, so I'll take your words, and I think it would be a good idea to follow the direction.
I believe that makes a majority.
Yes, it would.
Yep.
Okay. So, I need survival and perceptions.
I can see.
I pass.
It's still only a -1
can
for
see.
perception, right?
Yes, you should bother.
Because it's possible for a pass.
Nameless, it's still only -1 to perception, right?
Yes.
Alright, then that's a pass on nose.
And I think you always should bother because there's always a chance of critical fail.
Or critical pass.
Um,
No matter your negative, if you get a crit,
Who cares?
no matter
cares
your
about crit
negative, if you
passes?
get a crit pass, you will actually pass.
I mean, yeah, but who cares about crit pass? It's all about those crit fails.
That's why if you roll advantage or disadvantage and you get really low or really high, you still roll both times because there's a chance you might do better or worse. So, everybody is once again on the move. And for the most part, it's quiet journey. You see a few more giant leeches off in the distance. An oversized frog or two. But for the most part, fairly quiet. Up until the point where you guys basically walk face first into a stone structure. Which, to everyone's bafflement, was not visible up until right now.
Uh-huh.
Hmm.
Well, I'm glad I wasn't flying this time.
Yeah.
So,
I will also note that the fog has gotten a lot thicker in this area.
You know, I was in denial about this being magic until it hit me in the face.
Oh, we're not in the area where it would be magic. We're in the area where it would be technology.
Also, question. Did I walk into Vigil's butt again?
No.
Oh.
Nobody
'Cause it-
actually ran into the stone structure.
Okay.
why did you sound disappointed?
I noticed that as well, Nassa. I wasn't going to say anything, but now that you have, that was amusing.
Ask me a real question.
Hacks, Kato explain.
I'd rather
Play
not
it,
have an
Kato, explain.
explanation, actually. It is more amusing without it.
No, it's just because with the invisible facility, both of the times we came up on it, I was right behind you and we walked into it.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Or, well, rather, the first time we flew into it.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Of what?
Got it.
Petrol,
chance
put it
for
away.
what?
Max, don't worry about it.
Okay.
So, you guys have found a new stone structure. What do? As far as you can tell, it is a very large stone structure.
Is
I
this-
am very much analyzing it, investigating it.
Hey, Slashing, could you tell us if there's magic involved in us, not being able to see it until it was right on top of us?
I'm going to skip you, or save you some, time and say probably.
I'm running under the assumption that it's tech-based, but I will attempt to... I think it's detect magic.
Also, Nassa roll perception.
Yes.
So, that
for my
is
detect magic. That is pass on nose.
there
Maybe
is
it's
magic
something like
in the area.
that. Okay, so there's magic.
For Nassa, all of the places you've been so far have been, but these make them look like the stones, like just touching and looking at them, make them look like they were probably
What? Nameless, you cut
Prehistoric.
I said the stones make the structures that you guys have been seeing, like from the old world, look like they were built yesterday.
out. I mean, rocks do tend to be old.
Yes, but the
Since
where
when?
and whatnot, it's not a also not brain. I can words.
It's old structure, not old rocks.
Yes.
Now, question: do we want to find an actual entrance to this place, or do we want to just tunnel into it, considering it's made of stone?
I think that we
Look
should
for an
try and
entrance.
find an entrance first before,
Yeah,
we
we don't
maybe
want it
bring
to
the whole thing
collapse.
down on top of us.
Slashing. Good point.
Touche.
Okay. Have it your way.
So, you guys going
What,
to follow the wall?
Did you want the building to collapse on us, Slashing?
The building wouldn't collapse. I'm confident in my ability to shape Earth to be able to tunnel a hole that's safe to travel through.
And how confident are you in your structural engineering abilities?
Yes.
Got it.
That doesn't exactly instill me with confidence.
So,
I've made a ladder that was useful out of stone.
But a ladder and a load-bearing wall are two very different things.
are we going to continue arguing about the wall, or are you guys going to roll perception to follow the wall?
We'll try to follow the wall.
I pass.
I pass on those.
There will be no negatives since you can literally touch the wall.
And Moops wandered
I
off.
pass by one.
Okay.
I'm going to attempt to follow Moop.
And where is Moop going?
Moop is sleep deprived, baby. Moop is not going specific place. Moop is just going.
Moop walk in direction.
Okay, so can we say that I noticed Moop walking in that direction, I follow her, so that I can try to bring her back on right track?
Roll a perception. No negatives. Moop wasn't trying to hide, so
I think I passed.
I think she
I
passed.
think she passed. Yeah, just a little bit.
Maybe slightly.
Are you going to carry the Moop?
Yes, Moop shall be carried.
Okay.
I don't think that's a good idea.
Moop Badger being carried.
Do you really think that's a good idea?
Apparently so.
If you throw up, I can just wash it off later.
Throw up isn't the issue.
So,
Nassa, you're gonna get fired.
I'm laying you on your back. That way, if you cough fire or something, it's going to go directly into the air.
No, I'm gonna flip out the fact that I'm suddenly being picked up. Remember, sleep deprived, walking in any direction. Don't really recognize you for a moment.
I'm still picking you up regardless.
Not a good idea.
Trying to talk her out of it. Now we just have to find out what's happened.
so
And that was
if Moop does a struggle, then opposed strength checks are called for. And you both need to put up your margin of success. The one with the highest one is the one that will win the contest.
-5 and then fire.
So, Moop failed by 5?
53.
Yeah, because the negatives.
Yes, so,
I think I still win.
well, you still drop her because you failed the strength check. But, both of you are on the ground, not just one of you.
Come on, get on my back. I'm carrying you. Well, you can later. We need to go.
Where are you?
What do you mean? Come on, we have to go.
I don't know who you are. You don't look familiar.
Moop, you're talking crazy. It's Nassa. It's Nassa. Come on.
You don't look like Nassa. You're just a muddy blur. I don't
Yes,
know who you
because
are.
your eyes are like basically closed. Like you can barely see anything.
I don't know who you are. No, I'm staying here.
I like how she's a blur, but you can still tell she's muddy.
Oh, Mosso, please, s'il vous plaît, come with me.
I don't know what you're saying. You're staying here.
Right, can you at least recognize the fact that I cannot write punish or read punish? That is something we would both know.
I don't know who you are, but you better get away from me.
Well, come on. This isn't funny. You're very tired, and they're waiting for us back at that structure thing. There's to the party. You haven't been getting much sleep lately, and it's starting to make me worried.
Still can't see you.
Alright then, I go directly into Moop's face and I try to open eyelids. See? See?
I have the mask. I don't know if you can even try that. You have also mud on your hooves. That wouldn't really be the brightest thing, because that'll just probably get the mud in my eyes, making the eyesight worse.
Alright, do I need to answer a question to prove that I am myself?
Alright, I got one question. Who's got the stick?
As in who receives the beatings from the stick? Or who owns the stick? You own the stick, though I imagine you beat Vigil the most with it.
Nassa, it is you!
Yes, it is.
Oh,
Now get
I
on my
didn't
back.
recognize you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, because you're very tired. We're gonna try to help you get some more sleep tonight. Please, get on my back though.
I'll try. I'll try.
If you need to, you can sleep on my back. I just need to be able to keep an eye on you. So,
I can't sleep. Nothing's been working except the spicy medicine thingy. The
spicy candy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, it's for your good though. We really need to make sure you get sleep. Have you been having nightmares?
Just nightmares. Everything just goes wrong. I don't know why.
Well, would you like to talk to yourself? Or talk to me? Fuck, I don't know how to... Hold on. I need to figure out how to say words. I'm a bit tired too.
You are definitely Nassa.
Yes, okay, yes. So, would you like to talk about what is wrong, or why your dreams are having issues so that you cannot sleep?
I don't know. It's like a lot of things. The clouds are moving in, but it's not just the one. The blood, the bones, everything.
What in the bones? Are you having nightmares?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so. I don't. Usually I could remember my dreams, but I can't remember these. All I know is that they make me wake up.
I just. I'm not sure how to help with this. But I still know that you need help.
Yeah. You should go to the others.
But first, you're still staying on my back. We're gonna see if we can get you some sleep or something. Or at least you can rest while on my back.
Alright. Alright.
Listen, Moop, we care about you, okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Alright.
So
Yep,
you
we're returning to party.
Okay. So after several minutes and a turn around the structure, you do find a door. It is kind of just an open hole. Like there might have been something there at some point, but it isn't anymore. And regardless of what you guys are doing, Nebula just kind of walks in.
I guess we're following her.
I follow her because
I am too.
Everyone just kind of blindly follows Nebula in it by the looks of it.
well, a comment. We did this exact same thing with the Tantabus when we first came across it.
Yes.
And now look where we are. So maybe we should follow her this time.
That's how we knew that Twilight was still around.
Exactly.
I will just mention that doing this has also gotten cities to stand up. This mentality has also resulted in that.
Hey, I was not involved in the group that did that.
Maybe if someone stopped sticking his data shard everywhere.
Yes, but maybe we also shouldn't just walk through every open door without thinking. But nope, that's not how we do things.
We couldn't open half the doors because they were locked, remember?
And I'll also make a second comment. This is old building. We walk through it so that we can figure out what happened in the old building.
Yes, and it was Old City. I stuck data shard in to figure out what happened to Old City.
Well, it's your fault for following the...
And you made Old City walk. Right.
Yeah, but we normally follow things that don't talk to us. You are following a thing that is giving you instructions. That was your fault.
We also normally don't follow structures with legs.
So...
Would it be... Vigil says that and the building stands up.
So you guys are... Once you get inside, you kind of realize this place is kind of dark. Right now, the main source of light seems to be Nebula's eyes.
Does anyone still have their magic torches?
Yep. I bring you a fireball.
Of course we do. We still have the Lumiere. Do you not
The
remember?
lights?
Yeah, we call them Lumiere. I imagine as you said light, the light turns on. Remember why we call it Lumiere? Because you say light and the light turns off as I say that. That happens.
Yes. that exact thing is happening.
Okay, just bring out the light.
It turns-
So
I
you
take it
guys...
out mine.
Hours of entertainment. Oh no! The worst thing is when you're stuck in a small room and one of them's on and the other one's off.
You don't need the others. If you're in a small room and one's on.
Yes, but you try to turn one off, the other one will turn on. It's what they're saying.
Clap on. Clap off.
That's when you whisper.
Or in this case, clap on. Clap on.
So, as you guys pull out the torches, you see that this place, like the hallway that you guys are walking down with Nebula, has a lot of badly damaged stone carvings on it. You do come across one that depicts a group of ponies around what appears to be a big crystal of some sort. And it's got, the magic waves that depict something magical is happening here, but it's, a primitive stone carving. Inside, you can see an alicorn. And they, within the circle of ponies, there's a pair of alicorns. There's not much else around it that is still in a, we'll say, legible state. But as you continue forward, you see other images of very similar styles and very similar stories. Groups of ponies, and sometimes they're facing alicorns, other times they're facing groups of ponies. It seems as if the carvings that you guys are looking at are incomplete stories, as large sections of the wall have been worn away, or in some cases it looked like it was intentionally destroyed. And you get to the end of the hallway, into a very large room.
I do have a question though. What are the subjects of the I don't know how to call these things, but the painting carvings.
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 Like
yes.
It is literally chiseled into the stone.
Okay, I wanted to make sure. What would be the subjects of them? Like, you know what I mean? Like, is it like pony? Is it like dragon? Is it like zebra?
Some of them are a combination. Some of them are just ponies. Some of them are mostly other creatures. It varies from carving to carving. Well, legible carving to legible carving.
Does any of them look familiar?
You do come across one that does look vaguely familiar. There are a number of individuals that are carved crudely to resemble what looks like to be the same setup as your party, although the zebra is taller, along with the changeling. They seem to be facing something, but that part has been defaced.
I look closer.
Oh, of course it has.
What was that, Nassa?
I say I look closer at it. Do I see burn marks by any chance, or something on the hoofs?
You see stone-carved zebra.
Yeah, I don't think they were able to... If it is depicting us, I don't think they got enough detail to even show simple differentiation, and I don't think we see color.
There is no color, and you know it's zebra because they have drawn lines for stripes.
Well, I wouldn't see color anyways, although she forgot that she can't see that.
Yeah.
This is true. When was I colorblind?
It's birth.
I don't remember being...
Proceeds to look for gems.
I don't remember being colorblind.
Yes, we remember.
Sai doesn't.
Anyways, let's get back on topic.
So, you guys get into a large room, and it is basically a giant square with a square hole in the middle, and each wall is dominated by one singular carving depicting things. Two of the 4 walls have been badly damaged and no longer readable. The other wall is 2 walls are also badly damaged, but you could still make some of the features out. for the left wall, because it's the left wall and the wall directly across from where you guys entered that have the most easily distinguished.
Legibility.
Yes. For the left wall, the majority of it's been marked out by various, it looked like actual people, like ponies or whatever, whoever made this, made an attempt to destroy it. But you do recognize Saragus standing in the corner of it, carved in stone, as well as something that was on fire, depicted by, wavy attempts at flame, and something else's hoof. You know it's something else's because it is far enough away from the thing that was on fire that it makes no sense to have been attached to whatever was on fire.
Yeah.
I wonder what this represents.
And you only vaguely recognize the one that is Saragus as Saragus, only because there's not very many things that you guys have seen that looks like that, and it is grinning way too big.
We have not seen many humanoids.
Yes. Not, or at least not like this.
Humanoid? I don't know what that word is.
Biped. We'll go with biped. Not many bipeds shaped
it's the
like
thing
that.
that stands up on like two hoofs, right?
Dragonoids.
Okay, so kind of like Moop looking. Got it.
So, Nebula ignores this one and is sitting staring at the final one.
Goes ahead and looks at it.
Does everybody go to...
Yeah, would you care to give us a description of that one?
So, this one, also badly damaged. However, as you guys gather around, Nebula starts pointing, and there's a very large chunk in the center that has been magically removed in a very obvious way. And she points at that one and says, "The father," before pointing at what looks to be an alicorn with gemstone wings. Or at least that's what you can assume it was, because feathers don't look that jagged and pointy. And you see another figure partially carved with feathery wings that definitely do not look like his. And she points to that. And then slowly draws a hoof along, saying, "The children." And at this point, her eyes are also glowing bright enough to outdo the torches. Before she promptly passes out.
Of course.
Make me carry her too.
What do?
Continue to desecrate this place further.
Please do not do that.
I kid.
I have no idea what you were rolling for, Moop. You need to start telling me these things.
Well, whatever you attempted to do, you crit failed.
Back to sleep, hopefully. R.I.P. It appears that Moop has fallen off of my back while trying to pull something out to draw, and face plants. I kind of lean down to Moop. Are you okay? That looks very painful.
Can't do anything. Can you draw it instead? So we can keep notes for later.
I will try. I pick up a writing utensil in mouth, and I start to work on it.
Apparently, you near flawlessly.
Say that. Sure.
Because I
Why
was going to
not?
say intelligence.
Intelligence.
Didn't matter. Still incredibly low roll.
Just flat intelligence?
I kind of just gesture to move, like, does this look okay?
A tear wells up in Moop's eye.
Just
I can't see. Ask the others.
so flat intelligence. It's like, you somehow managed to capture it perfectly.
Yeah. Unbelievable, yeah.
I will also note that your side trip has taken you time.
Oh, yes. We would assume it would.
Are we tired?
I mean, it is nighttime. And that is a question that you shouldn't even bother asking with several party members, actually.
This is fair.
Yeah.
So, should we try to make camp in this room, or should we try to go outside?
I mean, this
I
is the
think
driest
this-
you guys have been in a while.
I don't see any reason to leave here, to be honest.
This is as safe a place as we can find.
I don't think, yeah. With the way that this building just kind of doesn't appear until you're right next to it, I don't think anything's going to be coming in here.
I would appreciate avoiding the unintentional wetness.
I kind of tried to pull Duck over to the side. Duck.
What?
Those candies you're using. Are there any that you have that can make sure that she doesn't dream?
No, not really.
Fentanyl.
Yeah, but that's not necessarily good for sleep.
Not really good as candy either.
I mean, you can get it as a lollipop.
You really can, actually. But I believe that one actually causes hallucinations.
Alright, well, I don't know how any of this medicine stuff works. Other than some of the herbal methods that were passed along to my tribe. Regardless, is there a way that you can make it so that she does not obtain any dreams?
Not really. If she doesn't reach a point that she can't, or she reaches a point where she can't really dream, then she's also not going to really sleep. Even if it's a way that is bad sleep still better than no sleep.
Then try giving her the sedatives again. I'm going to try something, and I'm going to go walk off.
So,
well, isn't the tent this practiced in sleep stuff?
Dream walking.
I know it's dream walking.
I don't cater to my patients, and then I pull out a syringe.
I have sent a certain individual what I'm doing.
It's time to use the ketamine.
What?
So, if you are going to do that, you probably want to have somebody hold her down. Because it is not going to be simple as just stab. You have to get through her scales, which means you need her to be restrained.
It is stab plus.
Because you're not necessarily going to have a patient that is fully conscious or willing
I would
Hey,
suggest restraint with magic.
I mean, you also have 2 Pegasi and a unicorn.
That's that. I
Not
did say
just-
restraint.
Magic's not necessarily always going to work that well.
Yeah, and I don't want to risk hurting her.
How still can you hold someone with telekinesis?
Not really.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
So, who wants to give me a
I
hand?
have no idea what's going on.
We're all just standing in a circle around Moop, and she's just
I'm
hearing
actually-
this.
We're all like, go to your sleep, go to your sleep, go to your sleep.
I'm off doing something.
I will apply stick. What is going on? Explain yourselves.
So,
Oop. I'm gonna give you something to help you sleep. You're gonna feel a slight pinch. But, the more you work with
You're
me on
giving
this,
me
the
more
more pleasant it will
spicy?
be.
Are you
What was
giving me
it?
more of the spicy candy? I don't
No.
think I could stomach that.
This isn't spicy candy.
What are you doing? What is that thing on your hood?
I'm just gonna give you a little bit of medicine with a shot.
Shot? That's not a gun. I don't know what that is. No, what is that?
Is this the point where the other 3 move in and hold the Moop down?
opposed strength checks, you guys can add your margins of success or failure together to oppose hers.
I use my big brain to restrain.
Okay.
Well, my margin of success was -2. Oh wait, no, -1. Oh hey.
Oh wait, yeah. Hack, I think we were reading each other's rolls because I thought
We
I passed
were.
by 2.
We
I
were
thought I
reading each
passed
other's.
by 2, and you thought you failed by 2. So
I succeed by 4.
So all of you need to add together
Succeed
to
by
include
1.
negatives. Negatives will drop the. So
I failed by 1.
you got a -3 plus,
I have a +1.
so -2.
Plus
Page.
4.
So you guys get a collective +2. Make your strength
Wow! Good job, us.
Make your strength roll.
Whoa, I naturally have a -5, so unless I crit this. No.
So that's a
No.
negative by how much?
My natural strength is 10.
So
Oh, that's
Nice.
-8.
Yeah.
-8.
Yeah, we crush her.
She kind of just like limply squirms a little bit.
Yeah, no, there's no fire this time either. That's just a fail to on fire. The negative is too much.
okay, Doc,
I don't know what's going on.
you need to roll your physician.
Do you all remember when Spike was turned into a basketball?
What?
What are you talking about?
Wait, I don't remember. Wait, do you mean when
That
he turned into a
passes,
pufferfish?
even if
Or-
I were to apply negatives. So
When I swear it was when I swear Spike was turned into a ball by like Trixie or something during the Alicon amulet.
So for Moop, you get a chance to roll a health roll, but you get an additional -2 because it is an injection.
That's a -7, man. The
you-
only way to match that is with a freaking crit. There you go. I am dead.
Yes, Moon,
Roll-
you found it. Yes.
Roll your percentage.
Ah.
We are going with 30%. Okay. You have
So
dreams, but you
that's-
cannot wake up. Because this is a stronger
Okay.
sedative.
So,
Okay, since
the
this
thing
is
still
good
applies.
at that, be warned. If this fails, you're gonna hear screaming. And that fucking
I
fails.
do not
Okay,
know how, like, if you would have that kind of reaction, but you would definitely be not, like, flailing would be something I could see. Just limp flailing. Remember, sedative.
Nameless, remember what I sent you.
before this as well. And
I
then
am
add
getting
on
to
top
it.
of this.
So, for Nassa, you get vague gestures at the moment. Because you're trying to communicate with something that cannot easily communicate. So you may need to get some help.
I go back in the camp and I try to get someone that knows how to do the Ouija board thing.
Stop it. Get some help.
Meanwhile, you come back.
I will assist with the Ouija board thing.
Alright.
Okay.
So, what are you trying to ask?
I need this Tentapus to help me get into Moop streams. I want to be able to fight off the nightmares.
The Tantibus like gestures at the Ouija board because you are holding Ouija board.
Yes.
Do you find dry place to put it?
We could probably find a proper place.
I'll use Shape Earth to make a elevated platform.
She the gist of what she signs out with it is essentially telling you that she can't bring somebody else because she's no longer strong enough.
Okay.
And can
relay
you
it.
go in and fight those nightmares?
Say that again?
So then, can you go in to fight those nightmares?
It pauses for a moment and then signs that it'll try.
I wish you had more power. I wanted to help with that endeavor.
It dips its head, and even though it can't speak and it doesn't have any discernible facial features, you can tell that it seems sad.
Listen,
Before
I really appreciate
it gets up and trots to well, it would be better described as floating, but it floats its way to where Moop is flailing. And it basically just kind of settles around Moop like a cloud. Like, if it were an actual pony, it would be kind of similar to just like kind of curling up around Moop. But with it being more incorporeal, then it's kind of Moop is just kind of inside of it at the moment. And now jump cut to Moop's nightmares.
At this point, the entire place is just downpouring. There is also a green mist within the downpour, but there is nothing else beyond that. The earth is basically just mud gray, and there's seemingly nothing around until a dead tree kind of just appears after a lightning bolt. At this point, there is crying, there is screaming, And then dead silence for a moment as the dream kind of moves into the cave under the dead tree. Inside, it's barely lit, and there's nothing obvious around until you see slight movement. What's making that movement isn't clear. There is no defined hardened shape. There is arguably nothing in there until the lightning strikes. There, right outside of it, you could only see it from inside the tree, is a shadowy figure in the shape of Nassa. It's kind of quite distinct because despite being a shadow, it still has stripes. Instead of black stripes, though, the stripes are white. And there seems to be white fire with the hooves. The shadowy figure is not moving, just staring at the tree. What is under the tree's roots is still just moving, but it's slowly taking form into, well, Clinker. Now, this isn't some silhouette closely resembling Clinker. No, it's actually straight up Clinker. Just there, pacing back and forth. Until the tree suddenly gets attacked. There is a loud thud. There are horns blowing, lightning striking around, and then from under, a dragon kind of digs itself out from there. It already has wings, but it has 4 sets of wings. It is a much longer, much more twisted dragon. It doesn't look like any other dragon that was around. None that you guys would recognize. The dragon has a long green tail with a black feathery end. The tail looks quite out of place given the rest of the body is an earthy brown. It has 7 horns, one that sticks out in the front, much like a unicorn horn, and then 6 that go back. It is very, very skinny. You can see its rib cages, you can see its bones, but it's not necessarily undead. It just looks starved. As it brings itself out of the dirt, Clinker is just there, still pacing back and forth, until the horn can be heard again. At this point, you can see the dragon's eyes as it turns to Clinker, and it's obvious it's time for the hunt. Clinker runs out terrified. There is no clear path. The shadowy figure from before runs after Clinker as well, in a fiery blur this time, with losing its shape and turning into this thing, this arachnid-like creature, as more arms break through its back and help push it along even further. It begins to lose more and more of its pony shape until it's just unrecognizable. At this point, Clinker just keeps running as the green fog begins to slowly choke him out. There is nowhere he can go. Even taking flight leads to nowhere. He can't get past the clouds. He can't even get more than a few feet above the ground. And slowly, as Clinker is running for his life, more and more creatures began to come, none of which were pony, all of which were disgusting, mutilated creatures. Many don't even seem natural, not even something like weave warps that we've seen before. All of these things is what would be called the Krenin. The Krenin were mentioned to be creatures of nightmares. Literally. They form when a child gets their first nightmare, and they will always come back. But the fact that Clinker is the only one there, the only child, while everything else is just coming after him, there is no hope. Everything is closing in. Until he gets struck and he loses his wings, falling, tumbling down, and right into a cave. The cave is right under another tree. This tree has one leaf and one flower at the top. And in this cave, there is Moop. Moop just stares at Clinker, confused. The green, all the Krenin, everything surrounding them. But there is just silence. And it seems as if maybe if the two stay there, it'll be fine. But it wasn't. You see, the horn can be heard one last time before Whoop turns into a lion and pounces on Clinker. The flower above the tree, well, it dies. It falls to the floor, and the silhouette reforms into Nassa and steps on it, setting it ablaze. The whole place now on fire, despite the heavy downpour. All the Krenin laughing and swarming around. And what is left under the tree is nothing but the lion and the bones of everyone else. This is not a new dream. This is a reoccurring one. And like all the other ones, this one ends the exact same way. With Moop falling asleep within the bones.
So, as the dream is coming to a head, a translucent Luna steps in as the lion moves to pounce, and in a language that has long since been dead in the world, she shouts something, and in a blinding flash of light, it's just Moop and Luna sitting in a small hut as rain patters down from the sky, and she, panting for a moment, looks at Moop and asks, "What was that, child? What is it that troubles you so that you see such things?"
I stare at Luna, confused. I don't understand. I really don't. I guess just the curtain are back. They always come back.
She sighs and sits down, shaking her head before she speaks. Those things don't actually exist. She looks up at you and says, "They never did. They were always a wives' tale. A tale told to scare children." She stands up rather shakily, and it's at this point you notice that you can see the wall behind her through her. And she says, "I have spent many, many years, thousands in fact, walking amongst the dream world, and only time I see these creatures is those who have been told tales of them in their childhood. What you're seeing is something that you fear, given form by your own mind." As she steps closer and nuzzles you and says, "So I ask again, what is it that you fear that makes you see such things?"
I wish I knew. This is just the thing I don't understand. I guess it has something to do with Nassa and Clinker, but those bones are more than just them. I don't. I wish I can tell you. But every time I try to think of it, every time then you can see my wings just kind of flapping. I just want to leave.
So the rain stops for a moment as the world around you changes, and the rain gets heavier, and you're sitting next to the tree as the storm picks up around. And she looks around and then looks at you and says, "Perhaps it would be better if we took a look at the events which seem to play so often." And with that, you hear the sound of the war horn of the hunt again.
I get up, and this time my wings are missing. That's not a good sign. We have to get out.
Instead of just listening, Luna walks towards the tree and... Hello?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. My brain cut out. I wasn't sure if it was supposed to loop or not. See, there we go. Or it could just not. Hey, thank you. This is not... Anyways, she steps forward and you see not the image of just Clinker, but like the moments that you and your friends had been crowded together in fear as the hunt had first appeared. And you see the party acting almost irrationally as they spread to flee, leaving just you and Clinker. And you kind of realize that it's all mostly from your point of view. As you can, as the moop that you were watching begins to get that fear filled look as the horn sounds again, that it was way less dramatic than I was hoping. You again feel all of the same pounding emotions and instincts that had been attempting to drive you then. And Luna looks up at you and asks, "Was it this?"
No, 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 this isn't right. No, it can't be this. I don't remember this. I just, I just remember this. This can't be right. There was, when we got under, everything went blank. I was in too much pain to move. Too much. I, I don't remember this.
As you watch during your trying to deny everything that you're seeing, the moop in front of you lets out a feral growl and leaps for a Clinker.
No! I intervene, or try to, rather.
Just before impact, the other moop freezes as the world just seems to come to a stop. As Luna steps around regarding the dream versions of you and your friend before looking at you and asking, "So is this what you fear?" With a grave tone.
I have enough control over myself. This will never happen. It can't. I may be a carnivore, but I always eat the plants. I always eat the gems. I don't do my own hunting. This will never happen.
The alicorn steps closer to you, lowering her brow to yours, and shushes you quietly before she speaks. And when she does, you can hear immeasurable sorrow in her voice. And as she says, "The things that were wrought during the war are travesties beyond belief. Even the most gentle of creatures would fall before the call of the hunt."
I didn't fall to it. I had enough will. There was no way. I would never.
But you fear that you will. And with that, you see images of violence wrought by the dream moop against your friends. At some level, she says to you, you believe that you are a danger to your friends. You no longer trust yourself. She looks at you gravely and asks, "Am I wrong?"
I'm deprived. As I say this, I back up, but my body also kind of distorts into the dragon that was digging up before. It's just not true. I'm their medic. I'm not that thing. They can trust me. I'm not some sort of monster that'll like hunt them down or anything. That's just not me.
She gives you a gentle smile that you can tell is heavy with weariness as she steps closer and nods and says, I understand. Before placing her hoof on your shoulder and saying, it is okay to fear for your friends, especially after an event like that. However, you must know that they trust you just as much as any friend should. And she looks away from you as the image changes to the moments where Petrel's character Vigil had been impaled against a tree, making weak excuses for himself, for you to go and check the others as he lay bleeding out, and as you saved him moments before his death. And as it continues, you see other moments where you helped your friends, albeit none nearly as traumatizing as that one. She does eventually bring you back to the hut. And as she does, the sound of rain begin once again. And she says, they trust you with their life. But in order for you to be able to sleep, to find peace, you must trust yourself around them. And she presses her brow to yours again as she says quietly, I know how it feels to be unable to trust yourself around your friends. I too have found myself in such a predicament. But if you cannot trust yourself, then at least trust your friends' trust in you.
As she says that, the creature that had the silhouette of Nassa is in the corner. It doesn't do anything, but it does sit there. And I just look at the floor to my feet. And I can't say anything.
She steps back and says, there's not much else that I can do for you. The rest is up to you. Before the dream fades, and for the party, you see the Tantabus kind of fade a bit. It's still there, but it's a lot more see-through and a lot less well-defined.
Excuse me, Tantabus, are you okay?
It stands up and nods before slowly walking over to its usual spot.
Alright, well, I thank you for your service and what you have done.
Okay.
And I look at Moop to see if Moop is still asleep.
Well, Moop is currently heavily drugged, so regardless of how Moop feels at the moment, Moop is kind of still asleep.
I am going to sleep next to Moop to ensure that If there are any complications, I'm aware.
So, we need to do watches still. Who,
I will be staying with Moop, so you're welcome to watches.
I'll
I'll
take
do-
first.
I'll do first as well.
Okay. So, do your rolls.
Yep,
No
pass as well.
abnormalities. Nebula is actually sleeping this time, though.
I'm getting to the point where I'm realizing I wish I learned at least some healing magic when I was younger, but too late now.
Now,
I'll
Who are you
wake up
waking?
Doc.
Doc is being awoken.
I'll wake Vigil.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Not have a watch. Okay. We both pass.
Okay. Again, nothing out of the ordinary. And final watch.
I wake up Cynax.
Okay.
Who is Doc waking up, if anyone?
Doc's just gonna double shift it.
Okay. Then
Isn't
roll.
that 2 nights in a row now?
Yeah, but I need less sleep.
He actually does. That is true.
Okay. Wait, what? What advantage did he take that gives him that?
Don't worry
Reduce
about
sleep.
it.
Huh.
There's also reduced consumption, which Doc has one level of.
Again, nothing out of note. It is morning time. Moop will be out from under the influence of the sedative.
I roll.
I certainly slept a lot. Is Moop awake?
Is the Moop of the awake.
I just roll.
Moop is not of the awake.
I stay with Moop to ensure company is maintained.
So, before we go any further, would you guys like to put a pin in it for tonight?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me cut the... There we go. So, for those of you that may or may not still be watching, if you're enjoying this, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. If you're wanting to support the channel, I'm going to go ahead and remind you, in the description is the Patreon link. And if you are subscribed to the Patreon for $5, you'll be able to sit with the party at the end of the session, and we'll have a post-game discussion. And then for the $10 tier, you get your name read out. And thank you to Haxros, Gilded Page, Sawtooth Waves, Alexander, and I think that's everybody.
Could be.
Yeah, it should be everybody. But other than that, we will be picking up with the Peacemakers campaign again tomorrow. And everybody have a great evening and drink water.
See you guys.
Well, the bomb got dropped upon us all, and the list of all unknowns is tall. But if there's anything we know, our stubbornness has shown, we'll climb up after any fall. We know who we are, but we still don't know who named us. Yeah, we know where we are, don't know where we came from. Leftover ashes in the sky, and the nations, all they do is fight. Yeah, the crown broke all our trust, so I guess it's up to us to save whatever's left of life. We know who we are, but we still don't know who named us. Yeah, we know where we are, but we don't know where we came from. But we still don't know who named us. Yeah, we know where we are, but we don't know where we came from. Oh, we know who we are, but we still don't know who named us. Yeah, we know where we are, but we don't know where we came from.